Hello and welcome into my morning meditation space. I'm Kelsey Sweet, and this is Cultivating Consciousness, a version of it. My first version of it was a radio show through Revolution.Radio on freedomslips.com, Wednesday mornings, 3 a.m., early, where I had 2 hours to talk about whatever I wanted, right? Cultivating consciousness. And fortunately, I had to put my radio show on hold due to a custody battle. But I figure now is a good time to re-engage the process and try a new platform. And one thing that I've been doing for my followers for the last few years are morning meditations, evening meditations, midnight meditations, just sharing meditative thoughts that come through, mostly through my Facebook platform. And I've been putting a lot of thought into how to take this project forward, and so we're gonna try this out and do some morning meditation space. I'm gonna light some more Palo Santo, kind of clear out our energy, clear the space, set some intentions. I have a lot that I want to talk about. I have a lot to talk about and a lot that I can't squeeze all into this video, so I'm just going to let it free flow and let it stream. Because there are a lot of things that I'm frustrated with, things that I'm angry about, things that I'm excited about, things that I'm curious about, and I have lots of experiences that I think are worthy enough to share. People have told me in the past that they can relate to them. So I'm gonna go with the flow here. I'm gonna start out my meditation space today with some oracle cards, just to set some intention, get a feel for where I'm at, where you're at, where we're all at. Set the tone, set the creation for this space. Now, a big part of the work that I do is cultivating consciousness, or cultivating conscious co-creative communities. So I'm an artist. I've studied psychology for a number of years. I'm an integral psychology student of life. I have a master's degree in transformative leadership, and recently just had to make the decision to drop out my PhD program in transformative studies. And I'm just going with the flow. To receive, that's my card, right? Receiving. I'll talk more about me, my life, and all these things as we move forward with different videos and whatnot. And I think one thing that I've been grappling with is this concept of receiving. I'm a giver, and I give, and I give, and I give, and I give, and I give. Too much. In the what's the name of the app? Let me look it up. The Pattern. It's a pretty good app as far as astrology goes. And one of the things that I'm into is personality profiling, and astrology is a part of that. And in this pattern, one of my traits, I'm an overgiver, or I shut down. So I'm doing what I can to mediate that space and find a healthy balance of energy, because I've been in a very shut down space for the last couple of years, really thinking, processing, synthesizing a lot of my experiences and the information, and watching, listening, taking in people, taking in the community, and noticing how within these couple of years, what my place is, how I'm supposed to fit in. And another one of the YouTube readers that I like to follow, one of her things is stay in your lane. So that's been one of my meditations, an ongoing meditation. Stay in your lane, stay in your lane. What's my lane? What does that look like? What is my experience? What is my knowledge? What is my skill sets? What is it that I have to offer the world? And for so much of my life, I've pursued the research or the conquest of the human psyche, of my own personal experiences. And I've noticed that I've been walking on this parallel path to my calling. Now, all these different mystical readers and inspirational healers that I've come across over the years, astrologers, intuitive readers, soul memory workers, all of them have pointed me in the direction and emphasized that my life's purpose is art. So I'm doing what I can to embrace that and to accept that, to give up on this dream of being a doctor and to live my life as the artist, as an art piece. And it makes more sense because I feel that if I approach this as an art piece and as a creative platform, it'll just do better for everybody. Consolidate, concentrate, just be me. The whole point and purpose, I think, of where I'm at is deepening everything. So much of my life and experiences with people have been on a very surface level, authentic, but at the surface. And it's been challenging for me to get close to people because I feel people so intensely and feel things so deeply. And so one of my biggest challenges in life is feeling all of the feelings without attachment, without judgment, and accepting that my star placements have given me these experiences for a reason so that we can go deeper. Because the more I lean into my feelings and into who I am, my sensations, I find myself going into the depths. And I found variations of myself, my various selves, in the depths at different times. And I think tools for how to come out of the deep, come back up to the surface. And these are all tools that I have, so I'll do my best to share them. Once you're on Earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. I'm not a religious person. I have, through my life's experiences, found purpose beyond, found something within the spirit, which is funny to me because I've been trained as an empirical research behaviorist. And so a lot of this metaphysical stuff, the hippy-dippy juju, isn't necessarily in line with a lot of the science that I've been taught. But in going into the depths of the science, I find these holes, and I find these gaps. And in one specific field, when you find a hole and you find a gap, one way to fill it is to integrate a concept from another field. And when you can begin to make connections between seemingly unrelated things, you're engaging in the creative process. You're engaging your brain and your neural connectivity in a new way. And this is all stuff that we can dive into and we can get into later. You can always comment or message me or reach out and let me know if there's something that you'd like me to focus on as far as a topic. Otherwise, I'm just going to see where this all goes. Follow the signs, because all the signs have been pointing me here and pointing me to this. So I'm doing what I can to listen, to radically accept, and to be. And I do what I can on a day-to-day basis to wake up in the morning with intention, to set my intention for the day, for the week, to align myself with my values, my purpose. And it's challenging on some days. Some days it's easier than others. The secrets and the key to me have been through diet, supplements, exercise, creative expression, writing. It looks like a lot of different things. But it's a calm space. It's a space where I hold space for myself, for my guides. It's a time to surrender. So maybe this is what our morning meditation is this morning. Surrender. Surrender to the energies. Surrender to the world as it is. Surrender to your gifts. Radically accept that this is the way that life is, but this isn't the way that it has to be. It's not worth fighting a structure that already exists. It's not worth competing against a structure or a system that already exists. We can allow space for the current system to exist as it is. We can bless it. But we don't have to nurture it. We don't have to feed it. We have seeds. We've planted seeds. There are seeds out there that need nurturing, that need to be watered, that need growth. These are seeds of a new system, of a co-creative environment. This is creating a new framework, creating a new system, and building something new. We acknowledge what is as it is. And we surrender to the Homo sapient as it's been in the past. We surrender to the sapient body. And we receive in this space of surrender an open channel to light, to energy. And when we can surrender into the space to open the energy, then we can recreate. We can bring in new information. We can realign. We can restructure. But it takes work and effort. It takes a willingness to be uncomfortable. It takes vulnerability and patience. It's not just a flow, because you can enter into a flow state. Many people enter into a flow state on various wavelengths through different vehicles. But I think the divine flow, tapping into something beyond, embracing concepts of innovation, of newness, taking this mind frame of I know nothing, yet if I surrender myself to the process and to the body, and I connect to the energies and I connect to the channels and I use the tools given for the sapient body, I can overcome this. Now, I'm a firm believer that we have the capacity within us to evolve as a species into a luminous body that has the ability to consciously tap into itself on a genetic and cellular level to heal and resolve the traumas and issues that we've experienced. And I know on one hand it can be a very difficult concept for many people to grasp. And it's a state of mind that is taking me many years, at least a decade of my own recovery and deep self-exploration to really come to the idea that this is true. There's nobody that can convince me otherwise, not at this point. How do you do that? How do you heal yourself? How do you tap in? How do you allow the divine flow to tap you into creative source? Practice? Integration? We'll get there. We'll go through the tools. I'm listening. And I'm, on one hand, as bruised and as hurt as my ego is for having to have dropped out of school, especially a doctorate program, for financial reasons. It's the right thing to do for me. And I'm accepting that. I can't run and hide away from the creative process and from the expression, and to bury myself in academia and research, and to bury my ideas under the ideas of others. This is the first time in my life that I've given myself the full permission to step into who I am, to step into my creative power, and to be. Now I feel pretty strong and confident here in my studio, my unicorn and my portals and my rainbows and my art supplies. And I know from experience that when I come out of my cave, my cocoon, my safe space, and I emerge into the world, and I know this because I've done this before. This isn't my first transformation, not my first metamorphosis. I know when I re-emerge into the world, back into society, that things are going to be different, that it's going to have an impact. Things aren't going to be predictable. It's a little nerve-wracking. And I want to be sure, and I want to be ready that this is coming from an authentic place, a genuine place, a clear place, and I will do my best to be as honest and authentic as I can about who I am and where I've come from and how I've gotten to this point. I'll do my best to not hold back. Not so much for you, but for me. Because if I can show up 100%, 110%, my cup can overflow with, imagine what more I can do for the world. And I've been giving from a not full cup for a very long time. Always with this idea that if my cup were full, somehow I would be taking from somebody else, or somebody else would be missing. That if I'm full, then somehow that takes away from others. And it's not true. Because if I'm not full and I give what little I have left, what is left but nothing? And as a woman in this modern world, this is a difficult place to get to, especially when words like empath and narcissist are thrown around. I don't like either of those words. They're labels. They're psychology terms that have been incorporated into the mainstream vocabularies so that their meanings have taken on a broader range outside of the context of mental health. But we'll talk about all that too. Talk about language, we'll talk about words. For now, I just want to sit here with you in a space, to hold space, send out my frequencies like a magnet to track back to me what is in my highest good and in the highest good of others. I'm born for this. So why am I not doing it? I'm shy. I've heard a lot of people in my life say, Kelsey, no, you're not. You're not shy. I am. It was. But we'll work through this too. Oh, let's see. We'll do one more card. Then I think I will take this first meditation, put it out there as an anchor for intention, as a reminder to me and to you of our own inner power. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done for the greater good of the collective of all of humanity. You must be brave, and you must be strong. Evolution and growth, transformation is not an easy journey. Transformation, purpose, all of this, it's about expanding, expansiveness. Taking that energy, that light body, that frequency, and expanding the love into the world, into the cosmos, into the collective conscious. And I like this one because it's got cycles and it's got the butterflies. Expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constructed, and exhausted ego. So we'll break through the ego. We'll break through the sapient body, the sapient form, the sapient consciousness, and the limitations that come with it. And we'll trust. I'm trusting this process. I'm trusting that I will know how to handle this. You will know how to handle this. That all of this great transformation now is natural. It's ingrained into our genetics to evolve. And we are, and we will. So we will clear and get grounded, focused. We will co-create a collective future that supports the divine abundance and uniqueness of us all. We'll get out of this mindset of competition, of fear, of hate, injustice. We will step into our power and create the life in the world that we want to see. We all feel it. It's all there. So take your power, take accountability, make change. Stop blaming others and criticizing others. Find your way out of the victim mentality. Grow. The seeds have been planted within all of us. They're there. Now grow. Grow it. Don't feed the weeds, feed the seeds. Yeah? We'll talk about it. Take a moment of silence. Take a moment to breathe. And sit with each other. And 3 breaths. Together. In and out. Take a moment to thank the Creator, the guides, the angels, and the spirits for the love that does exist and that is here for us to grab. It's November 2021, new moon in Scorpio. New moon, new energy, new intentions, new frame of consciousness, perhaps?